Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Schulke, recruiter at Katapult Network. In our past videos, we've talked a lot about questions that your interviewer might ask you and how to best answer those. But today we're going to change things up a bit. We're going to talk a little bit about questions that you should be asking your interviewer. It's easy to feel in an interview that it's all about getting to know you. It's questions for you to understand you, but this is also a chance for you to be interviewing that company, interviewing that role, and see if this is a good fit for yourself as well. And when thinking about what types of questions you should be asking your interviewer, it's important to make sure that it's stemmed from information that you need to know in order to best evaluate that role. It's easy to kind of go into Google and just say, hey, top 10 questions to ask your interviewer. You want to make sure that you've done some research into that company and really pick some questions that are going to be thought-provoking, really make you better understand that company and better understand that role. When asking your questions at the end of the interview, an important sidebar, I think it's important to ask your questions at the end of an interview. If you ask them too early, it can sometimes come across a little pushy, and more than likely, your interviewer is going to answer most of those questions as the interview goes on. And there are still some questions you want to avoid. Do not ask about salary, benefits, or what this company can do for you until after you've received a job offer. While it's really important that you get this information before you accept a job, it's still the professional norm that you don't ask it at this stage. This is a chance to get to know you, see if this is a good fit. And this may be a reason that you would be removed from the process if your other competitors are stronger. As I mentioned before, it's important to do your research. Look into what you need to know from this job. But don't fret, I got some examples for you too. What is training like for this job? This is a good question. I like this question because it can help you understand whether or not you're going to be learning on the job or in advance. And you can better see if it's a good fit based on your learning style. I am a hands-on learner. If I'm not able to just work it out while I'm in it, it's going to be a little rough for me. And if that were the case, I'd want to make sure I could ask some follow-up questions to see if this job is really the right fit for me. And what does the average workday look like? This is a good question too. It can really help paint a picture of maybe what your day-to-day is going to be like. You maybe get a percentage point of what you might be doing versus something else. I think it's a good way to just see if it's something that you're going to like. What are some challenging things about this role, and how would someone overcome those challenges? This is a great question. I think this question really shows what skills are needed for the job. It also shows if you feel like you're going to be a good fit with those skills. I think an employer can also see if someone wants to take on a challenge. They're ready to go above and beyond to understand how to excel in that challenging role. What do you like about the company's culture? This is a great way for an employer to talk about themselves a little bit. Be able to show, maybe what they like most about this company that you might not find on the website. This is a great way to get a little bit more insight into what this company is all about. And finally, what do you enjoy most about working here? I really like this question as an interviewer. I think it gives the interviewer a chance to talk about their company, talk about where they're coming from. How an interviewer may answer this question may also raise some red flags. It may help you better understand if you could really see yourself working at this company or not. Feel free to ask a variety of questions. It's important to get a full understanding of this role. So ask about the role, ask about the interviewer, and ask about the company. Have some variety in there. You'll want to come prepared with about 10 to 12 questions written down. This sounds like a lot, I know, but only ask a few, maybe 2 or 3. Your interviewer will most likely be answering a lot of the questions you already have written down in the interview. This means you also want to make sure you're paying attention. Listen to your interviewer. Make sure that you're not asking a question that has already been answered. You also want to make sure that a question isn't something that you should have already found in your research prior to the interview. And remember, your questions should be thought-provoking. You want to ask questions that are unique, but be cautious as well. An interview is about getting to know you, but it's also a chance for you to get to know that company, that role, and that industry. Make sure you do your research before the interview and ask questions. Prepare questions that are really going to help you fully understand and evaluate the position if you were made an offer. I'm sure you've got some great examples of what to ask an interviewer too. If you do, feel free to comment below. You can also subscribe to our channel and keep up with the latest career tips. Thanks for listening, everyone. Again, this is Lauren Schulke from Katapult Network.